You know, technically, and I'm not talking about those specific examples. I'm saying certain reassessments were made for some of them based upon which the decision was reached, you know, and actions taken. And so it's okay to want to look at how thorough those were, and then the grounds upon which they were taken. It's good to look at the process of the official administrator, for example, how the receivership came into being. And you remember Act 930, it was President John Mahama who passed that law.
Yeah, 2016.
Exactly. So he has watched how the law has been applied. Now, the bigger part is that, Raymond, you know, one fundamental problem we have as a country is that the economy is dominated by foreigners.
I see.
Now, that in itself is not a bad thing. It's okay to have foreigners in your economy. But when they dominate, it has implications for your local currency.
That's interesting.
And that's the first fundamental reason. If we don't change that, the city will continue to depreciate.
We'll talk about the city.
So I'm coming. So it's within that context that President Mahama is saying, look, I need to bring closure to all that has happened. Why? Because foreign ownership in the banking industry, local ownership in the banking industry has gone down significantly.
Yes.
In 2023, out of the total profits that were made in the banking sector, 90% accrued to foreign ownerships. 90%. And that has implications for your city. So in some, out of the three sectors of the economy, you know we have three sectors, the agri, the industry services.
Yeah.
Two of them, the last two, industry and services, totally dominated by foreign ownership.
Oh, I see.
Yes. And so these are the things that the former president wants to reset. So not only the financial sector, not only the banking industry, but those two. If you can reset those two, you are freeing pressure on the city.
Okay, so
so that is how come he says, look, we need to put back all that has happened. People are in court, we know that. But then the law provides for arbitration. You understand? So that's a window to have a real look into the issues. If the arbitration center comes out with recommendations that says, no, Bank A, probably something went wrong, so maybe give them the opportunity to go back into the industry, give them a new license. That will also be a court decision. And then it can be implemented.
I'm interested in this question. Some have asked, so which specific banks do we think that were collapsed wrongfully and we want to restore their license?
So again, that will be subject to what the arbitration panel comes up with. You know, in Act 930, Section 141, 142, it provides that context. So let the arbitration panel do their work. They'll look into various dimensions. At least I know that one of the banks was important systemically. You understand? And in every country, when banking crisis happens, one of the first determinants is which of them is systemically important. Those ones are given forbearance. Why? Because if you don't do that, it will impose a huge cost on your fiscal.
Okay.
And so we have to look into it whether these considerations went into the decisions. And remember, when it comes to the local banks, some of them were saved. Some were not saved. What kind of criteria was used? You know, it's just proper we get to understand what it is and take the opportunity to revise the law if we have to. And all this is important to prevent a recurrence in the future.
Except that it is...